Out of curiosity. Just out of curiosity. Oh, that's Tally. Hold on. I actually wanted Rex here. But, you know, just wondering. Just wondering. You know, we're talking about, perhaps, trying to get some more metagel uses out there before the end of the playthrough, and you know, there's like, there's not that much time left in the playthrough. So, you know, if we're gonna make that happen, then we're gonna have to make that happen fairly soon, right? So, you know, just theoretical question, but, you know, I was just kind of wondering if maybe, just maybe, it might be worth, say, oh, I don't know, like going... They're fine! They're fine. I don't know what you were so worried about. They're totally fine. It's no problem. I don't know what you're so worried about. Well, anyways, let's head over to the explosives shack or something like that. Place where they're storing all that stuff, and we might find some more things that go boom over here. So let us investigate further. And it is more or less right in the corner of the map. Where exactly, though? On the other side of this little ridge? Yes, it is. Not a lot of room here. Well, there's an explosive container. And a whole lot of grenade storage boxes as well. A whole lot at that. So you know, if our intention was to say have some people next to some explosives as they go boom, then, you know, like, just saying. Just saying. They're fine. They're totally fine.
Negative contacts, Commander.
Negative contacts. Everybody's fine. No need to worry. No need to be concerned. No need to be concerned.
I'm blocked.
Are you blocked, though?
No can do.
Are you blocked, though, Tally? I ask. Are you blocked? Alright. Now all those things are gone. What we will find is that, let's see. Oh, we actually can heal again. Okay. Lucked out there. We can pick up just a bunch of grenades. However, we are at our maximum of 10 grenades at the moment. So, if you're doing sort of the, I guess not exactly opposite of what we're doing right now, but if you're spamming a whole bunch of grenades, then this is a way to load up on, I think this has got to be the largest source of grenades, I think, in the entire game. So, you know, if for some reason you find yourself absolutely desperate for those grenades, then that's a place to pick them up. I thought I vaguely remembered. From here, if we, say, return to the place where we just were, thought I remembered that friends started to show up. The non-zero chance that maybe we even have to take all the grenades before they do. Obviously, we don't really need them right now. We have not been very aggressive with our grenade usage outside of just Ferris when we're using the anti-thorian grenades. But, alright, let's nab them all just in case that is the trigger that makes something else happen elsewhere on the map, because I feel like there might be a chance that is the case. But, then again, it's tested my memory a bit. So, we'll try... Whoa, that was disorienting. So, we are, like I said, in the bottom left corner there, you can see 10 out of 10 grenades just above our pistol. So, this is completely useless from that standpoint. And in some ways, it is worth saving all these grenades, even if you don't need them right now. I mean, you could even come back here on a latter occasion, I think, and pick them up as your personal long-term grenade storage facility. Then again, this is basically on the opposite end of it.
Approaching operational boundary limits.
Okay.
Recall
That was just me driving off the edge of the map, absentmindedly. For a second, I thought that was some kind of enemy telling us, like, hey, get out of here. That's just the Normandy, but I actually need to...
imminent.
Surprised it's not Joker as well. Usually it is. But yeah, even after having done that... Interesting. Alright, well now there is actually some reason to pick up this meta shell here. So that's cool. Because, well... That's everything here in this northeastern corner. I mean, we could try going slightly further south. Not sure if we're going to find anything there. But this might be the only other place we've not yet explored, other than, of course, the area right around the main facility.
Warning. Approaching operational
Yeah, I know.
Recall imminent.
I know. Okay, but I don't think there's much of anything else over here, by the looks of things. So once we start getting further south, we are getting close to one of the torches and or engineering stations, and definitely been there already. So in that case, I think we do start heading back over to that main facility that we overshot a bit to check out that stuff that we were just looking at there, with the explosives container and what have you. So, yeah, and we are basically right on track for it. Okay, and as we were saying before, signs of more turrets. How many do we have here? It looks like 6. And if I'm not mistaken, I mean, all the turrets on this planet are a little bit special, or this asteroid technically, because they have the shieldy things like we're seeing here. However, I believe some of these turrets are even more special. Namely that one, and that one, and possibly one right there. Let's see if we can get them to pop out a bit here. Yeah, that one right there as well. This might be a decent angle because if we can get them to pop up soon, without having to go much further, we have a bit of cover we can hide behind here. Otherwise, we start getting further down there and it becomes much trickier. Hello? I mean, technically speaking, I know you're hidden inside of this thing. It's supposed to be your shield and all, but it is open at the top. So we kind of sort of have an angle through which we can shoot down there. But it seems as though you are... It's not just that you have a wall blocking you. You are probably, truthfully, invulnerable when you have that up because, you know, for a second there I was like, maybe there's a chance we can actually damage you in this situation, but I don't think so. So anyways, it might even be worth saving here, and you're about to see why that is. Because if we drop down here and actually get these to pop up, you will see that some of those missiles, some of those turrets rather, are on rails. They move. Not only do they have the shields, but they move as well. And so that makes it a little more complicated to take them out. So it's these ones that are on those tracks. So that one was moving, but we did manage to take that out. That one's stationary. There's one here that moves, and there's one right there that moves as well. So, even... Oh, hold on. For a second there, surprise, they popped up. Did not get very close, I thought. But, okay, well, there's more missiles, as it turned out, but... We just get... One. The big one's there? Okay. Nice. So that's one of the stationary ones down. So yeah, this can be potentially significantly more difficult than the other places because of those moving turrets. Oh, that might hit us. That one's down. So now that's 3 down, 1 stationary and 2 moving turrets remaining, I think. Can you hit us from here? I don't think you can. Did that hit us, or did that fly over our heads? I think that's flying over our heads. Just barely. There we go, that's one of the moving ones down. So just 2 remaining here. So yeah, this can be quite challenging. Because remember, not only do these guys have the shields, one more time, but they also fire more quickly. This projectile speed of their rockets is much faster. And so it's much harder to dodge them. And so for that reason, you know, if you have a bunch of rockets that are... We got lucky hiding behind this, but in many cases, I think, it can be hard to avoid being in the line of fire for most, if not all of them, simultaneously. And so, you know, if you're getting several turrets firing at you from different angles, and some of them moving as they're doing so, then they can get quite challenging. But there's, technically speaking, I mean, if you go here, you might even be able to sort of, like, sidestep a bunch of them and just fire away and take them out one at a time, and maybe just retreat back up here if you get overwhelmed. But as it turns out, it looks like this angle here, which I suppose is what? Slightly southeast of the facility, turns out is a pretty good place. Pretty good place to attack from. Also, not gonna lie, I glanced momentarily up at this little asteroid or asteroid fragment that was popping up from behind this hill. For a second there, I thought it was a humongous turret that was emerging from one of those shelters. I was like, oh no, what have we done? The monster turret. The master turret. There's no stopping it. Okay, I don't think there's any additional loot here, but maybe just take a second to look around just in case. I'm doubtful. I suppose it's possible? There we go, under this, I don't think. No, that's an invisible wall of sorts. Definitely not there, but like... here? Does not appear to be the case. I mean... also that one there, but just zooming in down our sight a bit, it doesn't seem like there's anything. In which case, why don't we jump in here? The actual facility. This is, of course, the main facility, and so again, I think probably worth saving. And let's do it. Okay, so got some intense music going already. Let's see what we have here. We have lower main facility. We have a prison cell. Upper level. Okay, so some staircases, probably. And then this also goes to upper level. So I think... let's prepare ourselves for the worst here. In fact, why don't we just double check? Make sure we've got the best possible gear on people, because I'm not necessarily sure that we do. We're doing fine from an armor standpoint. I think we recently swapped Rex's armor, so he should be good now. Tally, again, from an armor standpoint at least, does not have too much, or does not have a great piece of gear to work with there. From a weapon standpoint, Rex is using the level 7 Spectre gear, but we do now have the level 10 Spectre gear, which is certainly an upgrade. So I think we make that switch over with the assault rifle, at the very least. Not necessarily sure if this is going to be primarily an assault rifle situation or a shotgun situation. But let's see, other than that, we are going tungsten rounds, and I'm thinking, given the quantity of Batarians and potentially even Vorcha, I'm thinking it's probably preferable to go with either Shredder rounds or potentially even with level 10 Sledgehammer. because this will prevent enemy regeneration, which Batarians actually do have decent life regeneration, I think. Not as good as the Krogan, but it is potentially a factor. So I think maybe we go Shredder rounds on the assault rifle, and then with the shotgun, see if we can get, yep, level 10, Spectre shotgun. Let's equip that, and then I think we put, yeah, Sledgehammer 10 on you for the additional weapons force, and it does also prevent enemy regeneration, so again, that would be helpful, specifically against those Batarians. And, I mean, sure, we'll throw on a, well, yeah, I think we'll give you this pistol. It's our highest damage non-Spectre pistol, and I think we want to prioritize giving a high damage pistol to either Tally or Liara if she doesn't have one yet, because she can only use a pistol. So for Tally, oh, speaking of which, from a shotgun standpoint, okay, good. We do have another one of the level 10 Spectre gear shotguns, because Tally can use shotguns to great effect. I think that's definitely a good idea, and we were going all-out damage, it seems. Sledgehammer, and then double scram rail for even more damage. I did not really take notice of what weapon upgrades we had for Rex. So we can go scram rail 10, is of course better than scram 9. Want to keep scram 9 as our other one, or do we go frictionless materials perhaps to counteract the reduced over or the increased weapon heat from using some of those other upgrades? That might be worth doing here. Don't recall, yeah, the Spectre shotgun gives you 6 shots, which is, it's decent. That's definitely not its strong point. I think it is, relative to the other shotguns, the accuracy and the damage are the things that it is the best at relative to the others. I mean, it is still good from a heatsink capacity standpoint, but if we're looking at Avalanche 10, for example, as you can see here, it is technically higher. But, you know, at a certain point, you know, how many times do you have to shoot your shotgun in a row before the enemy is dead? Hopefully not too many more than 6, you know, and you're probably running around or taking cover a little bit in between those shots, so. And the pistol is somewhat important for Tally because she's trained on the shotgun and she's trained on the pistol, but nothing else. So that means that if her shotgun gets overheated, she may need to go with this. So I think it is probably important that we set her up on here. And I'm thinking sledgehammer rounds on a pistol, probably not the most effective route to go. So maybe we just go Shredder here for pure damage. And this is kind of what I was getting at before. Whole bunch of stability. But is that really what we want here? I'd argue probably not. Then again, not sure frictionless materials is what we want either. Or at least, it's probably something we'd rather save for someone else. Yes, we have kinetic coil 8. There's a little bit of damage, and kinetic, or whatever the equivalent of kinetic coil is for level 7. So, what if we go scram for some damage, and then we go maybe frictionless 9. I mean, I know it is just objectively not our best possible upgrades, but I'd like to probably save those for someone else's primary weapon. And we upgraded her Omni Tool recently, so she should be fine with that. We're looking good from an Omni Tool and Biotic Amp standpoint. And I think Rex's as well. Probably keep the Savant 7. I think we still prefer that over the Polaris. Okay. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into here. Alright. Doesn't seem like much here at the moment. There is a first aid station. We need 1 additional first aid. Might theoretically be capable of giving you 2, but I suppose we'll nab it just, yeah, can't give you 2. Okay, more grenade storage boxes. We are at maximum grenades, so I think we save that. I'm not really sure we're ever going to use those for this encounter, but okay, now we can see some enemies. So, yeah, we're still on the same map here, but whoa, we've got some friends. Batarian Trooper. And some people who are doing some pretty big stuff at us. Let's see, Rex is already getting his his shields blown through. He has immunity, so that definitely helps. There's someone right up next to us here. Oh, it's this defense drone. Let's hack it. Nice. Then, are you attacking the thing that we just hacked? I think we did. Okay, another Batarian trooper here. How about, I'd like to dampening you. Not us. That's the dampening that Tally just used. Tally, we're on your team. Where did this guy go? Eventually downstairs? Well, yeah, there is someone down there. There is also a turret up there. There's definitely someone over in here. This is where the guy fled to. So, Tally, if you could actually dampen this guy, that'd be great. Is there any other ability that we really need to make a point of using here? I don't think so. I think we've got everything else. This guy just, like, go into the wall. Really looked like it for a second there. Okay, we have some people rushing in behind us. Carrying an engineer. And, something else. There might be a drone behind him. So, let's see. Let's sabotage you. It's almost enough to kill you. I mean, I was gonna try to dampen you as well. But you're gonna die before we get the chance to do that. But here is... I saw a drone. Second there. This guy's going down very quickly. Where is this drone? And I think the enemies that we are encountering here are technically coming out in some waves. Not sure who had taken damage there, but we'll heal up a little bit because we can. This might be the last guy left. Oh no, there's someone else back there. Okay. I know we're kind of fighting these guys in a sloppy fashion. That is partially because I'm deliberately trying to take damage. That is definitely a factor. We actually take a fair bit of damage here. So that's, of course, a little bit dangerous. If we go down, then it's game over. We should be a little careful about that. I think that was their ability, not ours, that went off. So they have some engineers, and they are capable of dishing out some damage with special abilities. That shock trooper looked like it was using some kind of biotics. Maybe something that they can do. In which case, let's lock you down real quick. Who else is left? Stamping you. I actually got both of them. Alright, let's shoot this guy instead. There's a lot of these guys. Far more than I was expecting. Or at least, it seems like it never really ends. Every time we take a little bit of damage, I'm deliberately using Metagel. It is definitely overkill, yes. But again, I'm trying to make a point of using as much of it as possible. Okay, this guy... Let's stasis you. Yeah. What happened to this dude? We didn't do that, I don't think. Rex might have thrown him. Someone else over... Oh, that's the drone. Yeah, I would like to hack that eventually. Okay. Tell him to get damping back. We'll use it there. Not quite, though. Let's not stand right next to the explosive container. That's probably a bad idea. Tally, if you could now dampen that dude.
Jammers online.
Don't think it triggers when he's in stasis. Or it just didn't trigger at all. Alright, we'll take care of you. Now it goes off once he walks back into it, okay. I mean, we could stasis him again, quick measure, but, nah, we'll get rid of him now. Rex, do you have any abilities we need to make a point of using here? No, I think you already mastered warp. We're fine there. Away you go. Now let's actually move in on this drone. So that we can hack it. Nice. Now it's on our side. Got a trooper right next to us. That means. And technically don't think that the stasis works when they're... Or the damping works when they're in stasis. We leveled up there. I was talking earlier about how I didn't think that we were going to gain many levels at this stage, but that's... Okay, no, that's 57, though. So, we still definitely have a bit of a ways to go here, and I think, in our case, we were trying to level up Barrier, get it up to Master Barrier. So I think we move forward with that. And in the case of Rex, it's combat armor. He's one away from getting Master Shield boost. Then for Tali, I think it was the same thing. She has a bunch of shields, even if she doesn't have a lot of health. So if we can get her to Master Shield boost, that could be huge. Okay, so some common themes there. Does appear as though there's one enemy left on the other side as well, and we are standing next to several explosive containers. So I'm a little careful about that. Who is this? Oh, it's another drone. Well, oh, not that. Package. That being said, it doesn't really have anyone to shoot besides potentially this guy. We will now damping again. Oh, man. Well, that's the effectiveness of the Spectre level 10 shotguns at point blank to the face. People go down pretty quickly, as it turns out. Pretty quickly. Okay, we do have more grenade storage boxes, but again, we don't really need that.
Die, human.
This may be our last dude. And, well, nice knowing you, buddy. So here you can see, he puts on immunity, so he gets some damage protection. You can also see that his life is going up slowly, but he definitely does have some regeneration. And I believe some people who have, weapons, or rather ammo that prevents regeneration. It might just be that those are their secondary weapons.
You humans.
Bollock.
You're almost more trouble than you're worth.
You don't say. What exactly are you doing?
Let the hostages go, and maybe you'll live long enough to explain yourself to the council.
I don't answer to the council. Or to you. I'm leaving this asteroid. If you try to stop me, I'll detonate these charges, and your helper and her friends are all going to die.
Oh, okay. Okay. Interesting little, ultimatum you're laying down here. So he's saying that, that if we try to fight him, then he will blow up, basically the hostages that he's taken here. Whereas, if we don't try to fight him, then perhaps he will let them live? Question mark?
I can't just let you go, Balak. Not after what happened here.
This is nothing. You humans have done far worse to the Batarians. We've been forced into exile, forced to survive on what we can scrounge up. It's been like that for decades.
And so to clarify here, because there hasn't been much direct mention of it, but basically, the Batarians are more or less the closest neighbors to humans in the Milky Way. And so we have, in some ways, we've at least certainly colonized planets that the Batarians wanted to colonize. And in some cases, I think, gotten approval from the Council to colonize those planets, whereas the Batarians had asked and not received said approval. And so we kind of just stiff-armed them and, you know, went and cut in front of them in line to take those places, and they are quite displeased with that. And so, and generally just expanded into what is now, in some ways, I mean, their territory. So, I mean, but at least in some of those cases, it was just, you know, unclaimed ground. It was free real estate, Jid.
Why take it out on these people? They didn't do anything to you or the Batarians.
Didn't do anything. Aside from colonizing a world that could have been ours. Aside from using resources that should have been ours. We were left to defend ourselves, but the humans were stronger than us. We knew that. The Council knew that. But it didn't matter. It was you. You and your kind are the only reason we're in this position.
So now the Batarians are kind of outcasts of sorts. We didn't see any in the Citadel, and they technically may not be a Citadel race. I mean, once upon a time they definitely were, but I think have very much fallen out of grace with the other prominent species in the Milky Way. But what are you getting at here?
How does killing innocent people make up for that?
We had no other options. Sometimes you need to get someone's attention before they'll listen. That's why we attacked you at Elysium. That's why I'm doing this. You forced our hand.
Ooh. I don't know. That seems like you are seriously overreacting. I mean, yes, does seem unfortunate that the Batarians are drawing the short straw here and don't get the chance to expand into the places where they want to expand and gather the resources that they want to gather to support the development of their species. But I know it's easy to point the fingers at humans, yes, but I mean, it's still, it's not so much us directly going against you as much as it's just at least a step removed from that.
You attacked us first.
Also that.
When we retaliated, you ran off to the Council hoping for help. When you didn't get it, you hid. You've got no one to blame but yourselves.
Enough! You couldn't possibly understand. Actually, you just don't want to understand, and I'm done wasting my breath. Now, if you want your friends to live, I suggest you step aside.
Okay, so here it is. One of the most interesting, most difficult decisions to make in Mass Effect 1. Do we attack him? And, of course, this is a pretty bad dude. He is trying to crash this humongous asteroid into a planet with a 200+ million person colony, and would probably wipe out that entire population in doing so. So we can potentially stop him now and him from doing similar things in the future if we were to take him out here. However, if we do so, then he's saying he's gonna blow up his hostages, and obviously very much prefer not to lose innocent lives in the process. However, if we let him go, it sounds like he will spare those hostages, in which case, okay, we spare a few lives. However, we're letting this guy run loose, and it does seem as though he's certainly the type of person who would continue to cause havoc, and maybe he's not going to send an asteroid into a 200 million plus population colony, but, I mean, he's, one would assume, likely to have other big plans to try to attack humans, or other species in general, but it seems like humans in particular are definitely the race that he's after. So, I mean, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one. And you could definitely make a case for doing either one of them. And in many ways, I think it's largely a question of what do you prioritize? The short term, you know, trying to save the hostage right in front of us, but potentially long term, suffering the consequences of having this criminal mastermind of sorts continue to be at large and potentially cause even more trouble? Or do you take out the criminal right now, but in doing so, in doing so short term, you lose some lives, because it sounds like he's gonna, well, kill those hostages, but long term that may be better, because it means that he's not gonna be able to continue his life of crime. Then, I mean, you're getting really technical. You could make the case, okay, well, if you get rid of this guy, sure, he's pretty bad, and he's causing a lot of trouble now, putting a lot of people's lives in danger. However, if you get rid of him, is someone else gonna pop up, take his place, and be just as bad? In which case, you know, getting rid of him does that really solve the problem? It may not. So, for all those reasons, this is a really tough decision, and I think there's no objectively correct answer. It is largely just a matter of what do you feel is best. And you could go either way, for sure. But I'd say, at least for us, let's save the hostages.
You can go. But this isn't over. I'll find you eventually.
Maybe. But I made sure you won't follow me today. Those charges are still on a timer.
Alright, so we may not be blowing them up right now,
I want to save your friend.
but we gotta go fast.
Think we got him, Commander.
And we have 3 minutes, by the looks of things, in the bottom right corner. I'm just pausing it right now, because otherwise that timer is going to continue to tick down. We picked up some additional equipment here. Some decent equipment at that. But, let's see. So Balak left 3 demolition charges on timers. Find and deactivate them before they detonate. So we have to, well, deactivate those charges. Otherwise, they're gonna go boom. Okay, so, let's see. We have markers on our map here. And I believe we do have some enemies that are gonna be coming at us here. Well, let's see. Is one of them here? Thought it might have been, or it might be upstairs? Uh-oh. Up here, question mark? Is this... Here we go. That's one of them? Okay. So, let's get this guy. Oh, not good. Not good. I don't believe the timer is going as we are in this screen here. But that's one down. Nab that metagel. Nab this metagel. Then get moving. That gave us 4 minutes. Oh no, I think that's collectively adding those up. Okay, so we've used already a large portion of our timer, and we only have one of them down. I think there's one down here. Yep, right here. Okay, let's get to this. This will be 2/3 of the equation. There we go. Okay, now we get moving to the other side. So we got 2 minutes for this one. And on higher difficulties, you have less time to do this. So it gets significantly harder, the higher the difficulty. Where is this one? Uh-oh. I think it is higher up. I think it is higher up. And so on the higher difficulties in particular, I mean, you can see here, we don't have a ton of time to do this. And so if you're not careful, if you're not, like, perfectly timing it on the higher difficulties, then I think you can actually, you can fail fairly easily. Here we go. This is the last one. There we go. All demolition charges have been deactivated. Release the scientist from the prison cell in the lower level office.
He left. Is that all right?
Ooh, and then the questions come pouring in. And, I mean, was it the only option? No, it wasn't. We could have chosen to fight him. But if we did so, then we would have presumably lost the colonists in the process, or, scientists, I should say.
Letting him go was better than the alternative. I thought you were going to stay someplace safe.
There might have been something I could have done to help. I thought I should be here. I know this asteroid better than anyone. You did it. Another hour and our course would have been irreversible. I ran the numbers, Shepard. X-57 would have struck near the capital city, the most densely populated region. But that's not going to happen, thanks to you. Is Katie in here? Is she all right? Is her team?
In theory, she should be fine.
Balak was holding them hostage. I let him go to save them.
Let a terrorist go or sacrifice innocent lives. I'm glad that's not a choice I had to make.
Yeah, exactly. Not easy.
Will you get in trouble for that? I mean, he could do the same thing somewhere else, couldn't he?
And that's the risk we took, right? We spared people in the short term, and risked that, perhaps he could cause continued trouble long term. Of course, we'll do what we can to try to track him down in the future, but there's no way of guaranteeing that he doesn't immediately turn right around and put some other people's lives at risk.
Yeah, he could. Balak seemed like a practical man. Practical but callous. I'm sure if he'd been in my place, Ms. Bowman would be dead now, along with all the terrorists. But I'm not going to sacrifice people who happen to be between me and my target.
So what happens now? The bad guys get away?
For now. But this won't be the last we see of Balak.
Balak gets away today, but we'll still be after him tomorrow. And the day after that. Me, my crew, and every other crew in the Alliance. He'll run and he'll hide, but eventually he'll slip up and we'll get him. Bad guys never get away, Simon. Not unless the good guys give up.
Well, I wouldn't want you after me. Shepard, thank you for my grandchildren's lives. I don't think I'll stick around, though. Not with the team gone. Too many ghosts. It's time for me to get back and spend some time with my family. Before I go, I'd like to offer you something. Maybe you'll have more use for it than I will. As lead engineer, I get some quality items. Take your pick. You've earned it.
Alright, and so, this is one of, if not the primary reasons why I was saying that we might want to deliberately wait to do this mission until more or less the end of the game, because whatever reward you choose here is going to be basically the best rarity item, and depending on what level you are, may also be the max level. And so it means that if, say, you take light human armor here, then you could get the best armor in the game for Shepard and be all set with that for the rest of your playthrough. And that is why I was saying before that it is worth, at the end of this mission, making sure, or at least before you go into this building to finish this mission, making sure that you have whichever party members with you that you have had the most trouble picking up gear for, because Tali in particular, we were saying getting good armor for her is quite tricky, but if you have high charm or intimidate, you can also potentially get his Omni tool, which is another thing that has been quite difficult to get. We've had some luck recently with getting the best possible biotic amps, but not quite the same amount of luck with the Omni tools. And so Omni tool is interesting because that is something that is usable for us. So at all points in time, there's at least somebody who can put that to good use. Whereas for the Quarian armor, obviously it's only relevant when we have Tali in our party with us. But the Omni tool is also relevant for Tali as well, because she certainly uses them too. So I'm leaning towards the Omni tool, but the Quarian armor is also quite tempting here. I think we go Omni tool, though.
I know it's a lot to ask, but that Omni tool of yours? I could really use something like that.
Shepard, I think I mentioned that you saved my kids and grandkids. What's an Omni tool compared to that? Take it, with my blessing. I hope you get good use out of it.
Okay, and then the other thing we can do is if you have already found all the engineers before you went into this main facility, then you can bring them up here. Otherwise, you can say goodbye and go explore and find them and then come back to see him again and bring this up. I mean, you could say goodbye to him right now and then re-engage later to remind him that you have, in fact, found the 3 engineers, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do that preemptively.
One more thing. You asked me to look into your missing engineers?
Have you found them?
Well, I mean, this makes it sound like we haven't, but this is true. I'm not sure where this is going.
Not yet. Can you think of anything that would help me find them?
No, we definitely did,
You
though.
can tap into our transmission tower out on the surface. Their equipment sheds will show up on your sensors.
Take care of yourself.
Be well, Shepard.